My dear friends, in the previous video, I solved some problems in the exercise 4.1 and we completed the exercise also. And in this video, I am going to start the concept properties of determinants. There are some 5 or 6 properties are there for a determinant. We will see one by one. Properties of determinant. First property, the value of a determinant remains unchanged if its rows and columns are interchanged. The value of a determinant remains unchanged if its rows and columns are interchanged. If the columns and rows are interchanged, the value of the given determinant is not altered. It remains the same. We will see. This is the determinant delta given. A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. I am expanding this determinant, finding the value of determinant along the row R1. Expanding through R1, A1 into A1 row, A1 column you eliminate. Find B2, C3 minus B3, C2. A1 into B2, C3 minus B3, C2. Next, this is minus A2 into A2 column and A2 row. You eliminate B1, C3 minus B3, C1 and plus A3 into A3 column and A3 row. Third column and first row eliminate. You will get B1, C2 minus B2, C1. This is the value of the determinant delta. A1 into B2, C3 minus B3, C2 minus A2 into B1, C3 minus B3, C1 plus A3 into B1, C2 minus B2, C. Okay, now interchanging the rows and columns of delta. Interchanging the rows and columns. Interchanging the rows and columns of delta. That is, in the delta, determinant delta, you interchange the column into rows or rows into columns. That is rows are changed to columns and columns are interchanged to rows. Rows and columns are interchanged. Delta is you call it after changing the rows and columns, you call it the determinant by delta 1. See, first row becomes first column. A1, A2, A3. Second row B1, B2, B3. Third row C1, C2, C3. First row becomes first column. A1, A2, A3. Second row B1, B2, B3. Third row C1, C2, C3. Interchanging the rows and columns of delta. And we will see the value of the determinant remains unchanged after interchanging the rows and columns. You know one fact that a determinant can be expanded. I already told you in the previous video. A determinant can be expanded using any row or any column. Here first I am expanding through R1. Now the delta 1, after interchanging the rows and columns, I am expanding the determinant delta 1 by using column 1. Because a determinant can be expanded using any row or any column. Expanding using column 1. Column 1. That is expanding the determinant using column 1. That is A1 into delta 1 is A1 into A1 row, A1 column, A1 row. You eliminate B2, C3 minus B3, C2. Next plus minus A2 into A2 row, A2 column. You eliminate B1, C3 minus B3, C1. plus A3 into A3 over A3 column will make B1 C2 minus B2 C1. Comparing delta 1 and delta A1 into B2 C3 minus B3 C2 minus A2 into B1 C3 minus B3 C1 plus A3 into B1 C2 minus B2 C1. See, this delta equal to delta 1. They are running the same. This is delta value and this is delta 1 value, they are equal. Therefore, after interchanging the rows and columns, the value of the determinant is unchanged. Delta 1 is same as delta. That is the property. Okay? Next, I am justifying this property using one example. We will see. By using one example, we will justify this property. Consider an example. Delta equal to 2 minus 1 minus 2, 2 minus 1 minus 2, 3, 2 minus 1, 1 minus 5, 0. You consider the determinant delta and you expand this, finding the value 2 into first column and first row element, 2 into 0, 0, minus and minus plus 5, plus 5, expanding minus, minus 5. 2 into 0, minus and minus plus 5. Again, say minus 1, therefore minus of minus 1 into expanding will get minus. Minus 1 into 3 into 0, 0, and 1 into minus 1 is minus of minus 1. 3 into 0, 0, minus 1 into minus 1, minus 1. Minus 2 into, again, column, minus 2 column and minus 2 row. You eliminate 3 minus r, 3 into minus 1, minus 15. And minus 1 into minus 2. So this is equal to 2 into minus 5, minus 10. Minus and minus plus 1. Plus 1 into 1. And minus 2 into minus 15, minus 7, minus 2, minus 17, minus 15, minus 2, minus 17 into 2. This is minus 10 plus 1, minus and minus plus 34. 35 minus 10 is 25. This is what delta. Interchanging rows and columns by property, rows into columns. You interchange rows into columns. So delta 1 becomes, after interchanging rows and columns, delta 1 is 2, 3, 1. First column becomes first row. Minus 1, 2, minus 5. Second column becomes second row. Minus 5. Third column, minus 2, minus 1, 0. Again we expand. This is equal to 2 into 0. As usual, minus and minus plus 5, expanding minus is minus 5. Minus 3 into minus 3, minus 3 into this element is you can introduce minus into 3. Minus 1 into 0, 0, and minus and minus plus 10, expansion minus 10. Formula, plus 1 into minus and minus plus 1, minus 4, expanding minus of minus plus 4, minus. That is equal to 2 into minus 5, minus 10, minus into minus plus 30, 3 into 10, 30, minus into minus plus 1 plus 4, 5. 35 minus 10 is 25. See, delta and delta 1 are equal. Delta and delta 1 are equal. Therefore, delta equal to delta 1, both are equal to 25. Therefore, if you interchange the rows and columns of a determinant, the value of the determinant is not changed. That is the property 1. We justify the property we are using this example. Okay. Next we will see property 2. Second property. In the second property, in a determinant, if any two rows or columns are interchanged, the sign of the determinant is changed. If any two rows or columns, if any two rows or columns are interchanged, the sign of the determinant is changed. Sign of the determinant is changed. Sign of the determinant is changed. That is the second property. Here also we have delta is A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. This is your delta. And you know the expansion, by using first row. A1 into B2 C3 minus B3 C2 minus A2 into B1 C3 minus B3 C1. You will notice B3 C1. A2 into A1 C3 minus B1 C3 minus B3 C1. Similarly, plus A3 into this column, right? B1 C2 minus B2 C1. This is your delta value. We have proved already in the previous property also. We have proved this expansion in the first property also. Here, this is the given determinant delta. Now, by this property, I am going to interchange any two rows or columns of the determinant. I am interchanging R1, R2 to R3 and R3 to R4. See, interchanging R2 to R3 and R3 to R2. Interchanging R2 and R3. That is, you call it by delta 1. That is A1 as it is. A1, A2, A3. C1, C2, C3, because interchanging R3 to R2 and R2 to R3, B1, B2, B3. Now you expand this element delta 1, again, you will see. Expansion of delta 1 is, here I have delta 1 expansion through R1, A1 into B3C2, B3C2 minus B2C3, B3C2 minus B2C3. A1 into B3C2 minus B2C3 minus A2 into element is B3C1 minus B1C3. Next plus A3 into eliminate this column B2 C1 minus B1 C2. This is your delta 1 value. You taken minus sign outside of this expansion, minus of this A1 into, if I take this minus outside, A1 into B2 C3 minus B3 C2. I am taking this minus outside, I get minus, and from this entire thing, minus to minus plus, I am taking minus also outside, I get minus A2 into, taking minus outside, it becomes B1 C3 minus B3 C1. I am taking minus outside, plus A3 into B1 C2 minus B2 C1. See, the quantity in the bracket is A1 into B2 C3 minus B3 C2 minus A2 into B1 C3 minus B3 C1 plus A3 into B1 C2 minus B2 C. See, this is equal to delta 1 is equal to, this is minus of, the value is delta. So delta 1, after interchanging the rows and columns, the sign of the determinant is changed, you get minus delta. A1 B2 C3 minus B3 C2, B1 C3 minus B3 C1 plus A3 into B1 C2 minus B2 C1 minus outside, therefore this is become minus delta. So delta 1 is minus delta. After interchanging the rows and columns, the sign of the determinant is changed. And this property is also we will justify on it using the same example which we used in the previous property. Okay, in the previous property example, using this justifying the property example, we have solved what is it? Determinant 2 minus 1 minus 2, 3 2 minus 1, 1 minus 5 0. 2 minus 1 minus 2, 3 2 minus 1, 1 minus 0. This is the determinant delta which we used in the previous property, and we will get the value of the determinant is 25. Interchanging the rows and columns entirely, after 3 rows and 3 columns are interchanged by the first property, the determinant value is remains changed, which is also 25 we have seen in the previous property. Now by using this property, I am interchanging R2 to R3 and R3 to R2. Now delta becomes delta 1, which is equal to first column, first row as it is 2 minus 1 minus 2. Third row becomes second row, 1 minus 5 0. Second row becomes third row, 3 2 minus 1. Now you expand using this 2 into minus and minus plus 5 minus 2 into 0 0. And minus of minus 1 into minus 1 minus 1 plus 3 into 0 minus 0. And minus 2 into 1 2 minus 15 minus of minus 15. 3 5s are minus 15. That is 2 5s are 10. Minus into minus plus 1. 1 into minus 1 is minus 1. This is 17 plus minus into minus plus 15 plus 2 17 minus 2 into minus into minus plus 17. Therefore 10 minus 1 minus 34. Minus 34 minus 1 minus 35 plus 10 is minus 25. See, this is plus 25, this is minus 25. Therefore, delta 1 is minus delta. The sign of the determinant is changed after interchanging into rows or columns. The sign of the determinant is changed. This is 25, this is minus 25. So I have completed 2 properties, and we will continue in the next video. That property we will continue in the next video. Thank you.